Modern Nomads is a weekly program about Kazakh compatriots who try to save Kazakh traditions for the current and next generations. And for those who are interested in the culture and history of ancient Kazakh nomads, watch us every week on Kazakh TV.
Mahmud Kashgari mentions the game of Bestus in his Turkic dictionary. According to his notes, the game was invented as long ago as 10,000 years during the Han and Saka periods, and it has been passed down to the modern Kazakhs. Bestus is one of the more widely spread Kazakh national games. Having a long history, it originated at the same time as the first tools made of rock, wood and bone. Both young and old enjoy the game that only requires 5 smooth stones or chuko bones. The first reason for its name comes directly from the number of skills necessary to play the game well. But, above all, agility, inventiveness, and rapid thinking are important. The game, among other things, teaches players how to make decisions fast. The second reason obviously lies in the number of rocks used. This equals 5. The rules are easy to remember. However, following them after several rounds becomes hard. The faster the players are, the harder and more interesting it becomes. To win, one has to stop the other players by building obstructions and tripping them up. Needless to say, only masterful players build a hindrance hard enough to stop the others.
Clearly,
all and every game has a set of rules and procedures. The rules for Bestus don't limit the number of players. They say 2 or more. The first player picks 5 rocks a little bigger than glass marbles. To define the order of players, the rocks are tossed into the air and left for the players to pick up as many of them as fast as they can. The cumulative number of rocks collected by the players defines his or her order. After the order has been specified, the game itself commences.
жаңағы тәртібін белгілеп алғаннан кейін шетінен жаңағы бірлік ережесі бойынша ойын басталатын болған.
By now we know there are 20 different kinds of Bestus played across the Turkic world. The strong players pass all possible layers of difficulty in one go. The very first level requires that a player knock off a particular rock of the 5 lined up on the ground. If the player knocks off the wrong rock, the game ends. It is important to keep the striking rock above the ground as well. We have triples and quarters, as well as jalal or licking and nabi 4 levels. For example, the Joly level requires that you knock off 4 rocks by throwing the striking rock in such a way that it touches or licks the ground 3 to 5 times before it reaches the target rocks. You only pass this level if you comply with all the requirements, and hence need to agree with the other players on the number of earth licks that the striking rock will make. After the decision is made, the game takes a pivot and grows more complicated and more challenging. Nabi is the hardest of the levels. It requires that the player is both fast and circumspective. The player is considered a winner if he manages to send the hitting rock to the gate with a spin. Winning this level gets the player the title of a true master of Bestus.
Nabi oyunu sol жақ қолымызды бас бармағымызбен сұқ саусағымызды жерге тірей отырып оң қолымыз
To set the striking or hitting rock spinning, we need to place the thumb and the pinky finger of the left hand on the ground. After that, we throw the 5 stones in our right hand from under our left hand. The level of precision is unprecedented at this level. It is called after the name given to one of the 4 stones thrown before, Nabi or Atar. It is not to be knocked off by any of the remaining 3 stones, but sent into the gate last of all. Should this rule be broken, the player loses and the next player tries to get to the gate.
Егер сіз қағып жатқан кезде Набиге тасыңыз тиіп кететін болса, бұл жерде де ойын осымен аяқталады, яғни келесі ойыншыға кезек өтеді деген сөз.
The benefits of playing this game include the development of mental agility, the ability to categorize, count and order, and make decisions very fast. It has been noticed that the game forces the player's eyesight to become sharper and clearer. The constant physical activity throughout the game is considered intense and varies and helps people to entertain themselves as well as to get their minds off work and improve their general emotional state.
Қазақ халқы өз ұрпағының ертеңін сонау бала кезінен ойлаған халық.
Preparing for the future before it has arrived is one of the major features of Kazakh culture. Raising smart and agile children through challenging yet engaging games being one of the main priorities. The whole nation strives to develop deeply meaningful kinds of pastimes for its offspring. From the first steps that a baby makes, they are immersed in the games that develop their motor skills and intelligence. The game of Bestus is among them. The motor skills are advanced early on in life and are believed to affect the child's ability to absorb information and to convert it into useful pieces of knowledge very quickly.
Дәл тигізтуге, сосын тез ойлауға жаңағындай машықтандырып отырған.
All nomadic games rely on the vast steppes and high mountains for both their tools and test beds. A child that has grown up playing Bestus doesn't have problems aiming and calculating their strength. They are generally seen as more calm, patient and diligent as they become adults in their later lives. One of the wonders of this game is the universal age relevancy. A 7-year-old can play with a grey-haired senior and enjoy the game just as much. It doesn't limit the number or gender of the players either. So, played by old and young, men and women, this game has traversed time in its original form, one child at a time. This close connection between the generations that the game creates is absolutely fantastic. In the course of the game, the elders pass along their knowledge and wisdom to the youngsters. They instill love to their heritage and national identity. Known as shekumatas in some regions, this game doesn't change its form. One can notice the names of the levels being changed based on the local context. But nobody would expect it to be only a girls' game, as in some specific areas. Truly universal, age and gender agnostic, this game has won over rich and poor, educated and illiterate.
Biz endi ата-баба дәстүрін ойындарды жаңағы жалғастырамыз дейміз, бірақ осы Bestus ойынында бүгінгі таңда жаңағы
People of all ages and genders reported that they were only able to reach to the 11th level, the notorious Nabi level. We have historical research results that say that higher and harder levels were devised by our grandfathers, but that they haven't gained wide attention yet. The new levels, with the elements of chase, jumping, flipping, and using additional paraphernalia and obstacles, were discovered in the process of research. One of them suggests that the player should toss the rock, flip the hand, and then send the rock into the gate with the back of their hand. This would clearly involve healthy rotation movement to the wrist and ultimately other parts of the body. Without some advanced dexterity, winning this level is impossible. This episode was shot in the Arbay Lyceum in Almaty. We gathered the players from the rows of the students and teachers and enjoyed one great day. It was easy to notice who was at what level of development, who played since he was a kid, and who picked up the rocks for the first time in their lives. Different levels of dexterity and curiosity didn't remove from the eagerness to play on. Including this in our educational programs would be very helpful, said one teacher.
Мен өзім қазақ тілі мен әдебиеті пәнінің ұстазымын.
I teach Kazakh language and literature. Avoiding topics related to our history and culture seems impossible in my class. That's why I incorporated the national games like Bestus into the learning process. I would lie if I said that every other Kazakh literature teacher has time to teach his students this game. But we here strive to propel our national values and activities and have reached a certain level of confidence in its benefits. We owe to our children information about this game, who played it, when, and how successful they became. Did it have other names, rules, or equipment? As a teacher, I swore to tell my students everything I know about it. But even this is not enough. I believe we need to research this topic even deeper.